Wonderful to connect over here. Like Robert mentioned, we have some of our colleagues here today, so I'll hand over to Viana as well to introduce herself. I guess we'll also get sort of an introduction from the Rotaract, and then we can just jump straight into the session. We encourage you to maybe ask us as many questions as possible. This is supposed to be an info session, and to help and best guide you on how to put in an application if you are interested. So yeah, thank you. Viana, over to you.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess Viana's network is a bit unstable.
I think would it, let me see, from Rotaract, would it be Blaze? Oh, I'm looking at the names here and the information after it. So please, you could just speak to us and just briefly introduce Rotaract as well, and welcome us to your space, and then we'll get started. Ellie, yes. So Ellie, if you're here, please go ahead. Just say a few words.
Thank you so much, and a very good morning, everybody. It's nice basically being here, and as it has been said, even in the chat, I'm called Eli Epilu. I am the Assistant District Rotaract Representative, Eastern Zone 2, ADRR, and I'm so glad that we are doing this. And before I move any further, I would like to introduce a few of the district officials who are here, and more so the lead person in PLD, that is Professional Leadership Skill Development Chair of the District 9213, and that is Ivan. I'd like to invite Ivan because basically this is his docket, and he will later on invite the other district officials. Ivan.
Yes, thank you. I'll see you again virtually, Robert Bob. Thanks for the good work that you're doing. So just to give us an oversight, Rotaract District 9213, which is predominantly in Uganda, is a youth membership type of Rotary International. And just like their counterparts all over the world, the clubs in Uganda focus on the 7 areas of impact for Rotary, which involve supporting the environment, peace building and conflict resolution, disease prevention and treatment, water and sanitation intervention, maternal and child health, basic education, and most important for us and related to the context of the discussion today, community economic development. So last year we launched an initiative called the Twezimbe initiative, which is really seeking at increasing the capacity of our young people to be of influence through building their business acumen, but also their soft skills. So when we see an engagement like this one with the Youth Startup Academy Uganda that is promising to provide an avenue for our young people to grow themselves, but also give them the necessary support and pillars that they would require, probably all that would necessitate their growth through the entire formative stages, to being able to contribute to our aspirations as a country, as a people, to be empowered both in terms of household incomes and the quality of life. So I'm very keen to the discussion today. I'm looking forward to the YSAU team unveiling the different opportunities that come with participating in this second cohort that is just opened. We're also glad on call to have a couple of unique leaders that have chosen to walk this journey of being intentional about building our young people's generation worth. Our district top leader, who is the district Rotaract representative, should be joining us shortly, and I think we'll make that introduction when she does join the call. But allow me mention in no particular order, Abby, who is a district trainer, Alpha, who is an ADR like Ellie, Aloysius Okadapa, who is also a district leader, Claire, a number of others that I really wouldn't want to, just blow this out because we're really running on a tight timetable, but we remain committed to this cause. And the most important for me to mention is that the President of Presidents, who is Mary, is on call, and she'll be very pivotal in getting the club presidents to support this initiative and scale it out to the different clubs across the country. So over to you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for
Thank
that.
you.
And yeah.
Please go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
Awesome. So thank you for those introductions. And once again, on behalf of the Youth Startup Academy team, we are very honored to be in your space this morning. And thank you for making the time for us and to just give us the audience. And I hope that we'll be sharing something that is going to be very, very aligned with the Twezimbe as well as the overall goals that you're trying to achieve with empowering young people. So just a quick overview in terms of how we are going to do this morning. I will have a quick presentation, and Rita is going to take us through this presentation. It gives us an overview of what the YSA is, its origins, and then why one should apply, the benefits that we have in stock for everyone that gets to the program. And then after that, I'll do maybe just a quick overview of what the application process looks like, and just show you what the application platform looks like as well. And then we'll take a few questions, and I think we'll call it a morning. And again, just a quick reminder, please keep your microphone mute at all times if you're not speaking, so that we avoid any unnecessary interferences. So Rita, perhaps you could get us started with the overview of YSA.
Okay, thank you so much, Rob. Thank you so much, Ivan. Great to, sort of see you here. And thank you so much for the overview as well. And just to know the different representatives that are here today, it's great that we have really the right people in this session. So it's wonderful to sort of see how we can come together and also as well as how we fit into the work that you're doing and into your mandate. So excited to see how we can take this forward as well. So yes, as Robert mentioned, just to give you an overview of the Youth Startup Academy in Uganda, which I will keep saying YSAU, and really the sort of like the journey so far and what it is. So what is the Youth Startup Academy Uganda? So the Youth Startup Academy sort of builds on the same successful model which is implemented in Korea, which is the YSA. And really we build on the lessons learned and implement a similar model, which has been one of the most successful programs in Korea, and we contextualize it into a local context, which is what builds sort of the genesis for the YSA Uganda. Now, the YSA Korea has really had a tremendous impact in the ecosystem there and has given rise to the birth of 2 unicorns. For those who may not know, a unicorn is a company that is valued at over $1 billion. And the 2 unicorns that have come out of the YSA Korea are TOS by Viva Republica, and this is a fintech, as well as Zigbang, which is a property tech. If you see the corporate valuation of each of these companies, it's incredible. We have one that's over $6 billion valuation and the other at over $1 billion valuation. Cumulatively, they have sales of over $90 million, close to 100, well, just over $100 million together. And they've created a number of jobs with TOS creating 332 jobs and Zigbang over 200 jobs created. And these are alumni of the Youth Startup Academy that we consider to be unicorns. Beyond that, the Academy has opened its doors to close to 5,900 alumni, and these are alumni from various sectors. So being part of the Youth Startup Academy Uganda then means joining this really distinguished group and this global cohort that has supported so many startups that have gone on to make a great contribution in their respective capacities, but also to the economy. Firstly, with their cumulative sales of over just $39 billion rather, sorry. And you can imagine that sort of injection and the impact that can have on a country's development. So that is some of, what they've been able to do. Beyond that, the greater impact of that, and the greatest impact really that we believe, is the number of jobs created. And this has seen close to 18,000 people being employed because of the fact that the YSA career has been able to support young people with amazing solutions that have then gone on to really reach close to 18,000 people with the number of jobs created through that. So when we speak now of the YSA Uganda is a joint collaboration between the International Trade Center, which is the ITC, funded by the Korean government, and the COSME, and COSME is the Korean SME and Startups Agency. Our local government partner here is NITA Uganda under the Ministry of ICT. And as mentioned, our local implementing partner, which is also the home of the YSA Uganda, is Hive Colab. So together, these partners form or really created a joint initiative, being the YSA Uganda. Now, we officially launched the Youth Startup Academy Uganda last year. That was in June last year, and we had various representatives from throughout various sectors, as well as the ecosystem that was well represented. And this was really our big launch into the ecosystem. We've got a very ambitious goal, and which is to support 1,000 young entrepreneurs across Uganda. Between now and, of course, the next 2 years, ending 2024. And this will happen over 4 cohorts. We had our first cohort that is currently being supported and is in the last phase before they graduate. And so the 4 cohorts the second cohort intake, which is what we're here for today, is to tell you about the opportunity that exists to get into the second cohort. So if you're wondering how can you get involved, how do you become a part of the Youth Startup Academy Uganda? Well, there are a number of ways in which you can get involved. First and foremost, you can apply for the second cohort intake if you fit the requirements and you have a startup across any sector and you'd like to receive support to take your startup to the next level, then you can directly apply. What you can do as well, you can spread the word. So if you know people within your networks, within your community that would benefit from an opportunity such as this, then we encourage you to really tell them about it, share the call with them, and encourage them to put in an application. Lastly, you can also become a mentor. If you have a valuable set of skills and knowledge within any specific sector and you feel like you'd like to give back and share some of that knowledge with the young entrepreneurs that they have, then do reach out to us and join our mentor database. So those are some of the ways in which you can be involved. Now, the reason we're here today, more specifically, is to talk about the opportunity that an ongoing opportunity that we have, which is the current second cohort intake. So we have a call that is out, a call for applications. And this is for startups in any of these categories, and there are 3 categories. Firstly, startups that are within ideation and validation. Secondly, startups that are now at product market fit, and we will break these down, as well as startups that are in the growth stage as well. And so those are the 3 categories of startups that we support through the YSAU. Now, cohort 2 is also sort of broken down into tracks, and these are 3 tracks. So if you're wondering, how do I identify where I fit in? If you are at the build-up stage, that means that your ideation and validation. And the assumption is that your annual revenue is between $0 to $15,000 annually. Now, if you're at sales up, you are most likely at a product market fit, meaning that your annual revenue is between 15K to 75K. Now, moving on from that, if you're at scale up, which is growth slash scale, that means that the annual revenue of your startup is over 75K. And if you go to the application, which we will be sharing the application link, you will answer a couple of questions that will then directly take you to the category in which you fit into. And then that will then inform the sort of support that you will receive from us. So why should you apply? Of course, if you have a startup, you're a startup founder and you're wondering, why do I want to get into the academy? Why do I want to get into the YSAU? Well, first and foremost, we provide a number of specialized support for you. Firstly, being something that we are setting up is a fully equipped Makerspace facilities, and that will be available to our alumni or the cohorts that get into the program. We are also setting up a mobile app testing and computer labs as part of our support. You'll also get access to co-working space. That is for duration of the cohort. And of course, you can understand the co-working space provides you with an address for your business, as well as various infrastructure, such as access to internet, etc. Beyond that, we also offer access to local and international expert coaches. So we work with experts, local experts, but we also work with international experts that are there to sort of support you in any specific challenge areas that you may have, and also share their sort of journeys as well, and really practical hands-on support in getting your startup to the next level. We also give you exposure to international markets through exhibitions. So we take you to regional as well as international exhibitions where you get to network with various ecosystem players, and potentially look at either getting collaborations, partnerships, investment into your business, and also understand on a broader level what is happening. Then we also provide linkages to investors and direct investment into startups. So based on where your business or your startup is at, we then link you to possible investors and facilitate those conversations that hopefully end in something successful for your startup. So those are some of the benefits of being in the YSAU Academy. Now, if you see here, we also have events that we open to the general public. This Monday, we'll be hosting Sohi, who is the CEO of Kijami Table. And this session is specifically curated for food and beverage enterprises. So if you are within the food and beverage sector and you really want to know more and hear from a founder within that space, then we encourage you to sign up and be part of the Founders Cafe, which is an open session and it's free, so you're welcome to attend. So we bring in various leaders from across the globe, from different sectors that are able to share their journey, but also we have an open Q&A session for you to ask them any questions, to get to know them, and to open your mind up to the world of opportunities that exist. So I think that's really just a brief overview of what the Youth Startup Academy Uganda is. We're happy to take any questions that you may have. We're happy to support in any way, whether it's within your communities, those that may need additional support. Like I mentioned, the call is open to anyone across Uganda, so it's not limited to Kampala. I think I'll hand over to Robert, who will then sort of take you through what the application process looks like. So Rob, over to you.
Thank you so much, Rita, for that lovely of what the YSA is all about, its origins, and what it has to offer for Ugandan youth entrepreneurs. So I'm just going to quickly give us an overview of what the application looks like. So on the in the follow-up of this call, I will make sure that through the appropriate channels, we actually share the links to apply as well. Maybe Rita could also drop the link in the chat for now, the link that brings you to this application portal. But the application has been designed to make it as simple as possible, and it's a very smooth and adaptive experience. Okay. And so once you open the application link, you will see a page that looks like this, just welcoming you to the application. And then you'll simply click on this, let's get started. And before you proceed, we will recommend that you have your pitch deck ready. And in case you're wondering what a pitch deck is, a pitch deck is simply a presentation of a few, about 10, 12 slides that gives an overview of your business idea. And typically, it's what you use to present to investors. It's what you use to really help other people understand what it is that your business or your startup does. And we actually have a template here for you that you can actually just click, and you'll be able to download it. Okay, so we have a template that we have already designed for you here. Maybe just quickly show you how you can go ahead and download this. It's a Google Drive, Google Slides, presentation. You'll come to the Files section at the top right corner here, or top left corner rather, and there's this download icon you see here on the list, and basically you download this as a Microsoft PowerPoint, and then you'll be able to customize it and edit it on your computer. Okay, so that's just a quick step for you to be on to follow and be on the lookout for and in the application process. Okay, so once you have that pitch deck ready and you are good to proceed. Okay, so just come back here and say proceed. And we just want to learn a few things about you, the applicant, and get to know you a little bit. Okay. And again, like Rita mentioned, for us, we are hoping to train about 1,000 entrepreneurs and all that. So by December 2024, you already have an understanding of who we are as YSA. And we just want to also get to know you a little bit. So we'll ask you a few questions here. What is your first name? For example, I'll say my name is, Bob. Okay. As you can see, it's a very smooth application process, and it keeps learning about you, right? So, Bob is such a lovely name. The application will make you feel good about yourself as well. Okay. What's your last name? I give them my name. Okay. And then they'll ask me for my email, for a working email. So this is my business email, for example. This is always important. Make sure you provide an email address that is working and that is most reliable, because all the communications, all the key communications will be done through email. And we have in the past, for example, from cohort 1, we realized a lot of people entered the wrong email. So they mistyped something in the email and they missed out on all the key informations. They didn't end up going for the interviews and all that kind of stuff. So before you click OK and proceed from this page, ensure that your email address is correct. Okay, this is really, really important. And then after that, we'll just ask you for a few biodata, your gender, whether you have applied for the YSAU Uganda before in cohort 1 or not. We just want to know that as well. Just your nationality, the Ugandan or your other nationality by resident in Uganda. We also want to know that as well. And then, we just provide your date of birth, okay? And again, ensure that you provide the right date of birth as it is on your national ID. Why? This is a youth program, so certain ages may not be eligible to apply. The application will automatically filter that out. So it's important to enter the right date as it is on your national ID. Okay, and then we will also ask you to share your contacts with us, so that we are able to get in touch with you. So I'm just going to enter a number here, and then they'll ask me if that number is on WhatsApp or not. If it's already on WhatsApp, I just say yes, and then I'll proceed. And that is it about me. The next step is then now we want to get to know a little bit about your business. Okay, so what's the name of your business? okay? So let's say that this is my business, okay? And here you can enter the registered name of your business. If you are not yet registered, then enter the intended name that you plan to register, okay? And actually one of the key supports that the program offers for those who haven't registered yet, we actually help you register your business by covering some of the initial costs of registering your business with URA SBS, okay? So that's amazing. So if you're not registered, do not be, discouraged. We're actually looking out for you as well. And then you'll be asked to enter where, in which region is your business located. This is also important because we want to make sure that we're offering the support for this cohort across the country. So we'll be having regional boot camps and all that. So we want to see the distribution of the companies as well. That's me, which district. So I'll say, Apache, for example, and then they ask me if I'm registered with URA SB. Okay, so specifically we want registration with URA SB, not with the sub-county or the county. It has to be URA SB and have a certificate of incorporation. If you do not have that, simply say no, okay? And this will help us to know that, okay, as part of the support we're going to offer you, registration is one of them, okay? So we want to register about 200 businesses, so 20% of the 1,000 entrepreneurs that are going through this program, 20% of them will get business registration support from the program. So that's an excellent opportunity for you to be able to take advantage of as well. After that, we'll ask you to basically select which category best describes your business. And this is what Rita was talking about. From this point, the application will be fully customized to that level, okay? So are you in the ideation or validation stage? That is to say your revenues, annual revenues are between $0 and $15,000. You select the right one, or if you're above that, basically make sure you select the right category here. Okay, in my case, I'll say I'm still, in the build-up stage, okay? And then at this point, we know your name and we say your company is in the ideation stage and the application has now been tailored for this stage, okay? So this is the build-up stage. So from here, all the questions now are for this particular level of my business, okay? We won't be asking you things that are not relevant to you, okay? So how long have you worked on this idea? Just give us an estimate of the time frame. So let's say I've done this for less than a year, okay? And then they'll ask me if I have any co-founders. In other words, if your co-founder is someone that you have started the business with, okay? Or you hope to walk this journey with, okay? So it's always advisable to look for a good co-founder, someone that complements you and actually helps you to build a business. Starting a business is like raising a child, okay? You need someone to support you. So if you do not have any co-founders, say no, and I would recommend that you be on the lookout for finding someone that can help you with that. If you do have a co-founder, you say yes, and they'll ask you here how many co-founders you have, okay, without counting yourself. So let's say in the case of XYZ Corporation, I have one other co-founder, okay? And then they'll ask me to list that one co-founder, what is their name, okay? So I'm just going to say, well, my co-founder is Rita, okay? And then I'll say, okay. And then from this point, we just want to understand a little bit about your business now, okay? So we'll say, in one tweet, basically in about 480 characters, state the problem that you're solving, okay? Include any stats of relevant data to back you up. Now, this information, you typically would have it already in your pitch deck, okay? That pitch deck template that you downloaded basically walks you through all the things. What's the problem, the solution, the market size, and all those sort of things. All the key ingredients of a good pitch deck are highlighted in that template. So by the time you come here, you basically just go and copy it from your pitch deck and bring it here, okay? So what is the problem that you're solving? So make sure you simply, type your problem here, okay? And keep it short, okay? 480 characters in one tweet. This is what we call an elevator pitch, okay? What's the problem? For whom are you solving it for? Okay, what's unique about it? How big is the opportunity? How many people face that problem? Okay, and that's it. So straight to the problem, okay? And then after that, we'll ask you again for the solution, okay? So we solve this problem, okay? We solve the problem by offering A, B, C, and this is the outcome of that, okay? Again, enter, write your solution here, and you'll be able to proceed, okay? Again, in just a tweet, 480 characters, straight to the point, okay? You would again have this ready in your pitch deck. So just pick it from the pitch deck that you already have on the side and just bring it here, okay? And then after that, we're going to ask you, which of the following best describes your progress to date, okay? So remember, I chose early that I'm on early stage, I'm in the build up, okay? So here I'm going to simply say, well, we are just having some functional prototype, okay? If you chose growth stage, the kind of questions here would be different because we don't expect you to be doing prototypes at the growth stage. There you have different things to focus on. Your progress looks different, okay? So this is where the customization is now applied. The questions are tailored to your level, okay? And then I'll say, okay. And then ask me, have I raised any investments? I'll say, yes, I've gotten some grants before. And then they'll ask me if I've attended any accelerator programs, any youth entrepreneurship training programs that focus on helping me to build a business. I'll say, yes, I've attended one. Then we'll ask you which one. So, there's several programs. For example, there is the NSSF, High Innovator, okay? So maybe you have gone through a program like that. You can enter it here, okay? This is being run by, by Outbox, for example. Also, maybe I attended another program, let's say, All Farms, okay? By Hive Colab, okay? So if you've gone through such kind of programs that support you in building your business, that's what they're calling accelerators or incubator programs. So you'll just list them here. This is important because it helps us to know where you still need support and to ensure that the program is actually relevant for you and we're not doing duplication and just repeating what you already know, okay? As an entrepreneur, we understand your time is extremely valuable. So we don't want to be wasting your time by doing, things that you already know. And that's why this information is really, really important to us as well, okay? So once I do that, and then voila, this is the last step. They ask me how to go and upload the pitch deck that I worked on, okay? So I'm just going to go to my computer and, let's say this is my pitch deck. Okay, the pitch deck is going to be a presentation. This is just an example, okay? To show you how the process works. When you upload, it has to appear here like this, okay? And once it appears here, you're basically good to go. You'll simply hit submit, okay? And once you see this screen, you have successfully applied to the YSAU program. Simple, done, dusted. From this point, you basically now just wait for communication from the YSAU team about the next steps, interviews and all that, okay? But once you see the screen, you are done and you are on your way to basically building your business in partnership with the Youth Startup Academy. That's it about the application. As you can see, it's very smooth, straight to the point, and we're not asking for any unnecessary information at this stage. We just want to gather enough information to make a decision about your participation, okay? So that is it. And I think we'll now open up for questions if there are any. And yeah, let's get those questions coming in now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob, and the team at YSAU for that really brilliant and engaging presentation. I'm sure on call we have some Rotaractors whose annual recurring revenue is above $15,000 and would like to grow their businesses more. For those of us who are in between 0 to 15K, this is a golden chance, and I can't just regurgitate enough that for those of us that have already gone through the Rotary Twezimbe Business Park, this is a brilliant stepping stone for you to further now concretize whatever we had envisioned in those sessions. Most of us came up with those ideas using the Lean Stack platform where we filled out the business model canvas. This is a golden chance for you now with experts like Rita and so many others that to the next level. Allow me to recognize our district top leader, our district Rotaract representative, Sarah Owembabazi. Invite her to make some quick remarks and then we take questions. Sarah, over to you.
Thank you very much, Ivan, and thank you to the team at YSA. Unfortunately, I am traveling. I am not able to make remarks. I'm listening in and I'm enjoying the session. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah. So open up the floor, simply raise your hand. We'll be able to let you grab the mic. Over to you guys. You can either raise your hand or you can use the chat room to let us know if you want to speak. Okay, yes, Isiko, please feel free to unmute and speak.
Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is okay. My name is Isiko Elia Becker, and I'm building one startup in real estate, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. I believe I shouldn't miss out on this. Thanks for everyone that has been able to share. It has really been good. It has really been a good session. My first question is, where are the premises located, the YSA premises? Because I think you missed out to mention that.
Right, thank you so much, question. Indeed, the YSA is being hosted at the Hive Colab. That's on Kanjocha Street, plot 62 on Kanjocha House on the 4th floor. That is where the YSA is. But Hive Colab also has a presence in Mbarara as well. But as I mentioned in the presentation of the application, that the program is also having a regional focus. So we will be having regional workshops in a few districts. So there will be definitely one for the Western region happening in Mbarara. For the Northern region, it should be happening in Lira. And for the Eastern, most likely will be happening in Kumi, okay? But those details will be communicated. And for Central, it will be happening here in Kampala at Hive Colab headquarters. That's on Kanjocha Street, Kanjocha House, plot 62, okay? So I hope that answers your question, Isiko. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Bob. There was a question in the chat regarding what categories of businesses that you're looking at as YSAU, but I think Rita has briefly spoken to that. You probably speak to that, but before you respond to that, Blaze, feel free to unmute.
Hello, thank you, everyone. Thank you, the leader team. I'm Frederick Karasira of the Rotaract Club of Bukedia. I'm the PLD chair. I want to thank you sincerely for this very good opportunity, the team. At the point of this, I wanted to ask, I'm already at a point of registration with the URSP, so I don't know how best, should I register it as a business or it is measured as a company? Thank you very much.
For that question, yes, I mean, a business is a company, right? So if you're registering with URSP, there are different types of companies. That is sole proprietor, it could be limited liability company, limited by shares, it could be limited by guarantee if you're going for such an enterprise sort of NGO model, right? If you're looking for business, then perhaps you would want to go for limited liability and limited by shares, okay? So I hope that gives you a bit of guidance. But in case you're not able to also register before the program, as I mentioned, the program is going to be supporting 200 entrepreneurs to register the businesses with your SPS by subsidizing the cost of registration for them. Okay. Yes.
Thank you, Bob. There's a question in the chat room. If I have a business and it's not registered, do I qualify to apply? I think this was made clear during the presentation. You can just write the name of the business that you would ideally intend to register later. And YSA has that support as Rita has shared. There's another question in the chat, Bob. How unique is YSA from the other already existing accelerator programs? And then I think for the interest of time, let's take Blaze Wainda's question as well, so you can answer those three at a go. Isiko and Fred, I would politely ask you, put your hands down unless you have another question. Over to you, Bob.
Fantastic. So in terms of uniqueness from other accelerator programs, one of the key unique things about the YSA is, of course, its background, right? And what you're building on. So this is a model that has been tried and tested, as Rita shared in the presentation. YSA has been in existence in Korea for 10 years, over 10 years. In those 10 years, they've produced at least 2 unicorns. That is one of the hallmarks of success in the entrepreneurship world. This company is valued at over $1 billion US, right? In Uganda, we still don't have any company that is that valuable, okay? So you can see that, this is something that YSA brings in, that sort of knowledge, expertise, and the network that has been so successful and is adopting it to this ecosystem. But also the sort of, expert support that you're going to get. This is not just another accelerator program or another workshop sort of kind of program. We are bringing in people who have built enterprises. And you'll be doing sessions by actual investors who will basically tell you all the tricks of investors before you meet an investor, right? This is just part of a unique thing about the Youth Startup Academy. There are lots of amazing programs within this ecosystem, and YSA simply comes to augment and further, fill in the gaps that already exist without really duplicating what already exists, okay? That's a very unique aspect of it, yeah.
Okay, thank you. There was a question in the chat room from Agava. Shall we be able to get the recording of this meeting? Yes, we'll work with the YSA team to avail this recording to all of us that need it. Jordan, I feel like this is so good. How does the YSA benefit in the end? We have listened to how they're going an extra length to help you, but where are they getting from? I feel like to get into it, I have to be sure what I'm dealing with and the liabilities involved. Yeah, I think YSA will speak to that, but also they shared with us they have a number of partners that they work with to deliver this. So over to you, Bob and Rita, on that question.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe I can say something just to supplement. What do we want? I will tell you very clearly and very, very frankly, right? We want businesses that are going to go through the YSA and become extremely successful, okay? To the extent that they can become unicorns, okay? So if you have what it takes to become the next over $1 billion business, this is it for you. That's what YSA is selfishly looking forward to, right? We want every business that goes through our program to be so successful, right? That at the end, you're going to be able to, do the things that Rita was mentioning in the presentation. We want you to create jobs for young people, okay? We know unemployment is an issue in our economy. That is what we selfishly want you to do. We want you to create so many jobs, right? 2, we want you to grow so big and be a key player in growing our economy as a country, okay? That's it. 3, we want you to be so successful that, in the end, we can also be, okay, this is a big successful company that is putting Uganda on the map, that is putting Africa on the map. And guess what? It's because of YSA. To be honest, that is what we want to see at the end of the day, okay? So that is what is in it for us. That's why Rita and I and the entire team are working sleeplessly to ensure that we can support you to be that successful. So the only thing you can do for YSA is to be extremely successful, to build a business that is growing, that employs other young people, that creates opportunities, and that makes Uganda look great as an entrepreneurship country as well. That is it. Rita, I don't know if you want to add to that.
Yes, just to add, I think Rob is absolutely right. But beyond that, there are various partners that are involved in the implementation of the YSAU Uganda, each with their own interest, right? And more specifically, what we are at the end of the day is ecosystem builders. We're looking to really contribute as much as we can to the startup ecosystem because we understand the contribution that such business make to the overall growth and development of the country. With the ITC, we know that the mission is towards making trade, especially in developing countries, more inclusive, making it sustainable, making it accessible to everyone. And the biggest target, and I guess the biggest goal of the YSAU Uganda is to target youth unemployment. We understand that one of the best ways to address that challenge, that is a very big challenge for us here in Uganda, is through initiatives such as the Youth Startup Academy Uganda. So in terms of liability, no, there is no liability on your end. So that is not something that you should be wary about. This is an opportunity that exists in and of itself. What it is an opportunity. We will not request anything from you, so there will be no monetary contribution from your end. And the only thing we require is, if you are to be selected to become a part of the program, is your full dedication within the program and to make the most of the support that you receive from us. And of course, as well, to prove that Uganda or Ugandan startups are able to compete on a global level. So that is our interest here.
Yes, thank you, Rita and Bob. Time is first spent. Blaze, Wainda, your hand has been up and I've given you the mic so many times, but you're not saying anything. But to just look at the conversation in the chat room, there's a lot of hunger, a lot of interest. Carol has shared her number. There is a working email and the working contact for direct support and feedback. There's a question on, do you have any successful stories from previous participants to which we can relate? I'm positive those that exist. Bob and Rita will speak to that. And also, this recording will be provided, and I think links to any relevant material that might be required. So before Bob comes and speaks that question on our success stories, Blaze, Wainda, last chance. Would you like to unmute and speak?
Hello.
You're audible.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much to the YSA team, and thank you to the Twezimbe team for making this meeting happen. I've been listening in from the start, and I have just, I think, 2 questions. The very first one is, how best can a startup that is planning to join the YSA program best position itself to actually qualify for support? Secondly, if a startup registered for the YSA program and does not actually get the funding or the support, is there something else that the YSA team does to help these startups move and grow besides giving them the financial support? Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay.
Rita, maybe you can address those 2 questions.
No, I'll take on the one and then I'll let you take over, Rob. So, and for me, it's within the context of support. Is the way we view support is that it's not always financial, right? Actually, in order to even prepare you ultimately to receive the sort of financial support that you are looking for, there's a number of ways in which we work with you directly. And I think that's why you'll see in the offerings that I shared is that this is a very tailored program that is based on where you are as a startup, whether you're at growth level, whether you're at ideation, or whether you're at product market fit. I think perhaps our first cohort, which is which is closing soon, can share. We had previous webinars where we had them share their experience and sort of how the journey has been for them so far. And I'm pretty sure that besides financial support, and we look at it more as an investment, because we prepare you to be investor ready. And being investor ready means that there's a number of, there is an entire sort of support loop that you go through in order for your business to reach a point where you're able and sort of able to stand before an investor and say, I would like to tell you more about my business. So yes, our support is not limited to that only. I think I'll let Rob take over.
Yes, absolutely. So the support is quite holistic in that form. But in terms of how best to position yourself to be able to, get into the program, I would say it's very straightforward, right? We're looking for, committed entrepreneurs to begin with, right? But secondly, those who are solving real problems that have the potential to grow and scale into businesses that are going to be able to actually achieve the sort of outcomes that they're looking for. So those are really the key criteria. If you're solving a real problem and you have shown in your application that there is, a problem here, there's a genuine solution that we have, and the market potential is huge enough, you should be in a very good spot to get into this program. And I think we did mention this. The overall target for this cohort is we'll be looking for 300 enterprises. 300 startups will be getting into the second cohort. Okay, so please just give it your best shot, and I think the rest should be able to take care of itself. Okay, all right. I think I'll end it there in the interest of time and hand it over to Ivan.
Yes, all right. Thank you so much, Bob. Thank you for everyone. It's been a really, really deep dive engagement, and I just cannot wait to see some businesses from the Rotaract fraternity, reach unicorn stage. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a golden opportunity, unlike any other. The recording for this particular meeting is going to be provided, and you should be able to access it and share friends who are unable to make it here today. But at this particular point, I would like to invite our district corporate services lead, Tessie Claire, to say a few words and then close this out for us with grace. Fred from Bukedia, your hand is still up. I hope you don't have a question.
Oh, sorry. I just forgot. Let me put it down.
Tessie, are you able to speak to us, Claire? Okay. All right. I think Tessie can't quite unmute. So Mary, being the president of presidents, allow me throw it over to you to conclude and give us the grace.
The grace or the finances? Correct. What exactly am I giving?
Well, whatever. The final toast.
I was wondering. Okay, thank you so much, our PLD chair, Ivan Koreta, for the opportunity. And thank you so much, our presenters. It was really an educative and informative session. I know we have learned a lot. Me personally, being in business, I've really learned a lot, and I'll be contacting you anytime soon. And I know my fellow Rotaractors have also learned and really appreciate. We kindly requested that when they reach out to you to give us another session, kindly don't say no. And thank you for your time once again on behalf of my president in D9213, my district officials, and the guests to Rotaract. We say thank you, and thank you. So for that, I propose a toast to Rotary International. Rotary World.
Over.
Thank you. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice weekend.